Hello again, everyone. Zagatech is here, my Nxt Takeover The End review for tonight, Wednesday, June 8th, 2016, taking place from Full Sail in Orlando. This is not just the first NXT Takeover to be at the home base of Full Sail this year in general. It's also the first NXT Takeover in Orlando since October. The last two were in London and Dallas. So especially after Dallas, that last takeover was amazing. Coming out of that, and with this being the first takeover in a while in Orlando, this is a really good takeover tonight. Really good. There was no bad match on this card. All five were pretty good. One match I think was better than the others. And we had a lot of endings that could spark speculation of a lot of people debuting on the main roster very shortly. We also crowned some new champs. And we had a couple debuts. One that we knew about, one else is a surprise. But none of them were Bobby Roode. Yeah, let's get that out of the way first. There's been rumors all day, and for a while, Bobby Roode's going to join NXT. He was seen at TakeOver Dallas in the crowd. And we heard he was backstage. I read rumors he was backstage today at Orlando. But the only sight of him was before the main event. They had a vignette with Rory Regal, and you saw Roode coming backstage. So that was the only interaction we had with Roode tonight. So we didn't see him fully debut tonight, but it's going to fuel speculation that he's signing on to NXT. And Aries Young should be joining on full time too. We haven't seen him since his debut match against Samoa Joe a few weeks ago. We're expecting to be back soon when he gets a full deal done. So with that out of the way, let's get to my review. 7.0 for tonight's takeover. It's as good as Dallas. You know, some say Dallas might be better, but this is a really good one. Let's kick these off with our first matchup. The Perfect 10, Ty Dillenger. In his first takeover appearance since August at TakeOver Brooklyn. Because he wasn't at TakeOver the tag team night for the Dusty Invitational. Respect. He wasn't on TakeOver Respect. He wasn't at TakeOver London or TakeOver Dallas. He was on the NXT at the TakeOver London. But now he's back in the TakeOver as he takes on a debut. Andrade, Cien, Almas. A luchador guy, from what I saw from the vignette, maskless. And his look was interesting. He had white hat on, and I like his name with Latin heat. At least they're treating this Latina better than Primo and Epico right now. He had these white pullovers, suspenders. But that wasn't what he was wrestling in. He pulled them off to reveal blue pants. We have new blue pants, people. But the match itself, after we saw the entrance of both guys, especially Andrade, really decent opener. Really fun opener. Andrade's got some potential. He's very agile. Very athletic. As we would see, especially one spot that was really good in this matchup was when he was going for a moonsault off the top rope, but he missed because Ty rolled over. But instead of ignoring it, he landed on his feet. Andrade, he went for the moonsault, landed back on his feet, and then flipped again and nailed Dillenger. That was a great agility. Great spot there from Andrade. And it was like very much agility, especially one time he was like elevated on the ropes. And there was one time this elevation on the turnbuckle got a super kick from Ty Dillenger. By the way, I love this jacket that he wore. Ty Dillinger's jacket was cool. And he had the 10 on the back of the jacket. That was awesome. So I like this entrance jacket. But it's probably Ty being so over the fans, you know. He is so over. He's not a $9.99. He's a perfect 10. I think I heard him say, like, he's 100. He's a good crowd tonight. NXT crowd's always good. Maybe sometimes too rowdy for its own good. But the Full Sail crowd was pretty good tonight. So despite Ty doing some big nasty moves, especially that nasty super kick that he nailed on the turnbuckle to Andrade. That's when he got the handstand thing. Ty was going for his move. It's eye breaker, but then Alves reversed it and went for a big double knee move. And he got Ty in the turnbuckle. And here's his finish. I like the finish. Kind of. He got him in the turnbuckle, and he whammed double knee first into the tie. Pinned him 1-2-3 victory for Andrade, Cien, Almas. Great debut. Now, Ty is a great hand. But it's kind of interesting he's losing a lot. But guess what? They're what some people call an enhancement talent. Because he's been used for either people's debuts or people's returns. He was used for Apollo Crews' debut, the return of Sami Zayn to NXT. He was also used against Shinsuke Nakamura, doing one of his first matches. And again, tonight, used for the debut of Andrade, Cien, Almas. He had a great debut, great potential. As long as he we add some refinements to his character and see how he does speaking-wise on his promos, he has a lot of potential. I hope Ty does get some out of his too. You know, he's a great talent. You know, been a fan of his ever since he split up from Jason Jordan and adapted his perfect 10 gimmick. And the bringing up of that tag team's done wonders for both guys. 3.3 for this match. Really fun opener. Great debut. Both guys look great, especially Andrade. And speaking of Jason Jordan, on Dillenger, when they went their separate ways, went on to be the perfect 10. Jason Jordan, as we all know, went on to form a brilliant tag team in American Alpha with Chad Gable. And they'll be defending the NXT Tag Team Championships tonight against the Revival. My mind, probably some people would say that Aries and Nakamura's match tonight material. I say this one. It's my match of the night. Right here. The matches I've seen either live or at the last takeover have been awesome thus far. Saw him in Detroit at the NXT house show there. And it was amazing. Even with a screwy ending, it was still awesome. The match at takeover, Dallas was great. There was one box that almost ruined it. But the match was still great. This was better than Dallas. Now that Dawson and Wilder, I think they finally found ways to get heat from the fans. And especially since losing the titles, they've looked really good. Attacking people from behind. That great promo they did last week against Ciampa and Gargano before their match. Got a little fire in them. And they looked really good tonight. And of course, so did American Alpha. Really fun match. As I expect from these two terrific teams. They have some great spots. Great double teams. Probably the spot of the match. And probably the spot of the night. Besides maybe a spot during the main event. Was when Dawson and Wilder looked really good throughout the matchup. Despite Alpha's best efforts. Like, they both went for double teaming. You know, the best part was they were going for a finish on Gable. Gable was on top of Wilder's shoulders. Dawson was going up for a big move. But then Johnson was about to do it. He got caught by Gable, who was on top of Wilder, mind you. Caught Dawson with a belly-to-belly counter while still on top of Wilder's shoulders. That was insane. That was the shit. That was, like I said, spot of the night to Jack Gable. That was crazy. And also, Jordan looked really good, especially when he got the hot tag in mid towards the matchup. This match was pretty long. Ain't got a lot of time, like I said. Lot of time. It was really good. A lot of new finishers. Both guys going for the big finish, especially near towards the end. With American Alpha firing on all cylinders again. Despite the efforts of the Revival, they were setting up for their high altitude move. But then, Revival countered it. Knocked Gable off. And they caught Jordan with their double team finish, the Shatter Machine. In a 1, 2, 3, the Revival regained the NXT Tag Team Championship and become the first ever two-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Like in all the championships, I don't think there has ever been a two-time champion in any of the championships in NXT. Yeah, would it be weird to see Revival be like, clap for your new two-time champs? And that's what people reacted. And I'm stunned that they had American Alpha lose the championships 2 months after winning it. But this could be, I'm hearing a lot of rumors about them going to main roster soon. Read some articles about that. So it could be signaling towards that with them losing tonight. And a surprise victory for Dawson Round. And they kind of deserve it. You know, but Alpha deserved to win more because they're so over right now. But at least they had the titles. And Revival, as I said earlier in the match description, they've looked better. They got more heat on the fans now. And they've been looking good the last couple of weeks. So, I think they got a big victory out of it. We'll see how they do as two-time champs. We haven't had a two-time champion like I said, we haven't had a two-time NXT champion or even a two-time women's champion. But now we have a two-time tag champs. But as Alpha was licking their wounds, here comes a bunch of monsters, a bunch of goons. Their names, I don't know what their real names are, but apparently, from what I'm reading, the names are Sunny Dinsha and Jizim Samani, but they're probably going to give them new names. They came in from behind and attacked American Alpha. They're freaking huge, these monsters. Revival's the only major heel team left because Blakey Murphy recently broke up. So now we have these two goons coming in. And they destroyed American Alpha. Great double team finishes. And they have loads of potential, these two guys. They're goons, but they're talented, athletic goons. Then adding the ace in the hole. Coming down the aisle, Paul fucking Ellering. Former manager of the World Warriors, a.k.a. Legion of Doom. Getting Paul Ellering as your manager is almost as good as getting Paul Heyman. Because they're both legendary managers of legendary talent. Especially when you're Paul Ellering. And he's a good talker. That's a lost art these days, is managers. Not many people use managers. Because managers can be a great mouthpiece. Especially for people who don't have proper mic skills. In Lesnar's case, he has an awesome mouthpiece in Paul Heyman. And same with these two guys. We don't know the new team name yet. They just came in from out of nowhere. And they got Paul Heyman as a manager. Which is going to really benefit them. And they don't speak well. They don't do proper promos. They have an excellent mouthpiece in Paul Heyman. Lots of potential with these two goons. These two giants, monsters, whatever acronym you want to use for these two guys. 4.3. Better than Dallas, for sure. Not as much. And very long and very good. Great tag team affair from two great teams. Nothing to be ashamed of, especially in Alpha's case. Even if they got beat down from this new team, which, like I said, loads of potential. Especially with Paul Ellering. Man, it's awesome. Great ace in the hole. Great to see him. He looked awesome. Now, on to the second best match of the night. Shinsuke Nakamura and Austin Aries. A dream match for many. You have one of the top guys of New Japan and one of the top guys formerly of TNA clashing. And these two were going to have a good match. It wasn't Shinsuke and Zayn good. I know some people made the debate. But it was as good as Shinsuke and Zayn. It was a fun matchup, nonetheless. So I wasn't expecting, like, epicness. Like, huge epicness, like Zayn Nakamura was. But I was expecting a fun match, and it was. Shinsuke came in early with some big knee strikes, and multiple times good vibrations. But he got caught one time too many, going for the well one time too many, and that's when he got caught, and Aries started isolating him with the isolated knee. The crowd was split. You had Austin Aries, Nakamura, and also when Nakamura came out, the crowd sung his theme song. He's been in NXT for 2 months now, and now everyone's humming his theme. So, now it's cool. They did that throughout the matchup, especially when Shinsuke was getting isolated in the corner, being pummeled by Aries. There was some nasty moves. One of the nastiest moves of the match was definitely Aries did like a back slam thing on the apron. That was a nasty spot that he did to Shinsuke. But despite the poundage, the punishment handed to him by Aries, some big moves, including a crash and burn move, through the ropes to the apron, to the barricade. He got nailed one time. He went for, speaking of going to the well one time too many, he went for another splash through the middle rope and nailed the apron because Shinsuke rolled out of it. And Shinsuke's nasty strikes came in. They had a forearm attack, forearm exchange. And multiple times, Aries went for the last change, which he didn't lock in one time. And Shinsuke almost tapped out of it. But he got the ropes. He got to the ropes in time. And the commentators are like, Aries got Shinsuke in the middle of the ring, center of the ring. Not exactly. Because Shinsuke was really close to that rope, which he got. Or was it doing Shinsuke's? Like, Shinsuke did a submission game too. They both exchanged submissions. One of them was really close to the rope, and that's when the commentator was like, he's in the center! Not exactly near the center, because the guy got to the rope. Anyway, after the slot, and also that eardrum smack as well from Aries, like, he looked great. He looked great. This is probably better than his match against Corbin last month. His match against Corbin, his first takeover match was decent. He did win that, but this time he looked way better, and it was a much better match than his match against Corbin. Despite Aries' best efforts, he got nailed by not one, but two Boombayas, aka Kinshasa. First he got nailed with the Kinshasa off the top rope, off the middle rope, should I say, and that's when he went for the, he being Shinsuke, went for the reverse exploder, and then nailed the Boombayah again, on the ground, 1-2-3 victory for Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah! The King of Strong Style reigns supreme. 4.0 for this one. Really close rating. Like I said, since I gave Nakamura and Zayn 5 stars, you know, a perfect 5 out of 5, I'll give Nakamura and Aries 4 out of 5 because it was as good as Zayn Nakamura. I still say that one was a little better because the style was just so hard hitting. But these two put on a good match as well. Before we go any forward, I need to mention some of the tag team titles for a second. About the fact that the Revival retained. There's 2 reasons why I think the Revival regained the titles tonight, beating American Alpha. One, because of rumors about American Alpha returning. Not returning, but debut main roster. And also, so Revival can defend against Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, who beat them in a non-title match last week on NXT. So now we have a heel tag team champs again. It could give Gargano and Ciampa an opportunity for the titles. Especially since they now beat the new champs. Because I thought that last week when I saw Gargano and Ciampa beat Dawson and Rounder. But they'll still get beat up after the match. But I was like, wow. That's not what Revival needed. They didn't need to lose a match right before the title match. But it didn't hurt them. Because they regained the championship. Speaking of that, at NXT TakeOver, Dallas, 2 new champs were crowned. American Alpha and Asuka. American Alpha lost their championships tonight after only holding the titles for 2 months. Basically, 1 takeover. Would Asuka suffer the same fate? We shall soon find out, as Asuka will be defending the NXT Women's Championship against Nia Jax. It was supposed to be Bayley Asuka 2. But with Bayley's storyline injury winding her out, we have Nia Jax coming in as a new number 1 contender. Now, Nia and Asuka has been teased a little bit. You know, they had a little backstage confrontation. Now Asuka being champion made sense to have Nia Jax go at her. And this match was good. I think a little better than the Bayley match at NXT TakeOver London. Because I think Asuka's more capable of handling nasty strikes from Nia Jax. Because Bayley's such a fragile little thing. And we love Bayley. Who doesn't love Bayley? Who was still backstage and shook Asuka's hand, wishing her good luck, especially against Nia Jax, who I think has been really improved since her match against Bayley. You know, she was still green. I thought it was too soon to thrust her in the title picture. And I think now is the perfect time. It's been almost a year, because I think she debuted right around October, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think August. August or October. At either at the TakeOver Brooklyn or TakeOver Respect, that's when she debuted. I think it was TakeOver Respect. Like at the TakeOver Respect. So now it's looked really good. She looked good at getting this matchup. It was like a beatdown match, but Asuka gave it her all in that match. to Nia Jax. She was more capable of, like I said, withstanding the strikes from Nia and coming back with some big nasty strikes of her own. And really playing the underdog role in this. She's a tough son of a bitch. That Asuka. She's one tough son of a gun. I shouldn't say bitch, but I did anyway. She's not a bitch. She's a tough one. She's a tough son of a, Stay away from that. Anyway, despite Asuka's best efforts to try to outmatch the strength and power of Nia Jax, the strength and power got her numerous times, with Nia Jax calling him some big nasty splashes, some nasty power bomb, nasty submissions, and Asuka's trying to do submissions too. Because that's the only way he can kind of beat Nia Jax. That's what Bayley did. Bayley submitted Nia Jax in the match in London. But in the match I saw in Detroit, the house show, I did see Bayley did belly to belly Nia Jax, which wasn't attempted or even done at all at NXT Takeover London. So despite Nia Jax looking really good, she even tried for the leg drop once, but Asuka rolled out of it, and she went for arm balls, leg locks. She even went for the Asuka lock at one point, but Jax was too tough and too big and too strong for the Asuka lock. And big kicks to the head from Asuka. Big nasty strikes through to Jax after that. And Jax got nailed with a big. She got a hip attack at one point, but they got a big nasty move from Asuka that could clothesline her too. It got destroyed by Asuka. 1-2-3 victory for Asuka, retaining the NXT Women's Championship. 3.8 for this one. Good match. You gotta change up your game plan, especially against like a big beast like Nia Jax. That's like trying to wrestle Awesome Kong in a match. Who would imagine if Kong would have stayed on longer? She would have been like Nia Jax, just beat up everybody and be hard to kind of whoop her because she's too big against all the women who are mostly small. But you gotta have that little added attraction in the women's division. That's what happened in TNA when Kong came in. Of course, she came trying to come into the ring, kind of a mixed success, kind of a fail because of missed opportunities. So there you go. Nia looked good in this match. I still think it's too soon to put the title on her, but she's improving day by day. It won't be long until Nia Jax is a champ, but for now, we have Asuka reigning supreme as the queen of Asuka City. We got a lot of chance of that tonight. So there you go. On to our main event. First ever cage match for the NXT Championship. It's kind of interesting when I was looking back on it. I was like, what makes NXT cool? They don't use much gimmicky matches, much stipulation matches. We haven't seen much Fatal 4-Ways or a lot of triple threats, although they've been good. But we haven't seen major stipulation matches. Like, we've had an Iron Woman match, get it right. And we had a ladder match or two. And this is our first steel cage match. It was involving the NXT champion. Weird to say that for Samoa Joe. And also weird to say the challenger, Finn Balor, who was the demon tonight. Cool little entrance again. Come on, it's Finn Balor's entrance. But it could spark fuel to the fire of a certain debut soon. He wore black and white face paint tonight. The colors of the Bullet Club. Too sweet. So, I'll get to that. All that speculation in a minute. After the matchup. And Joe came in as well. Interesting to see Balor as a demon again. Especially since he lost the championship in Lowell, Massachusetts, not as the demon. He wasn't in his face paint. And knowing that he's never lost a match as the demon got Joe fired up. And let's say this. This match was probably one of the best in the series. This is the third match and probably the last. A little better than Dallas just because of one thing that ruined the match in Dallas. The continuous stoppage of the match when Joe bled. I knew they were doing it to protect him, and especially making it really feel like a real fight. But it kind of ruined the flow because it would stop every 2 minutes. This time there was no blood in this cage match, which did may hinder a cage match these days in this TVPG era. But it was a decent, fun, physical fight, even in a cage. Better than the Asylum match, I'll say that much. Better after the Asylum match. A really good action it was for these two wars. It was just a fight. If you've seen the last two battles, you know you can expect nothing less than a physical, hard-hitting, stiff fight for these two warriors. Even in a cage, it was back and forth action. It was split. Mostly, a lot of people cheering for Finn. You know, he's a their beloved guy. You know what I mean? He's been a top guy since his debut 2 years ago. You know, he's been beloved by the NXT Universe. So, Finn knew Joe very well. They knew each other back and forth, especially battling each other twice, so it made each guy harder for both guys to kind of get momentum. Despite Finn coming in like a house of fire early, nearly Joe gets a cage numerous times. There was a cool spot when Joe was like stuck on the cage outside the ropes, and Finn just nailed him with chops and kicks. Then Joe rolled out of it. Then Finn got nailed against the cage. Both guys tied for the finishers. It's interesting, both guys kicked out of the respective finishers of one guy. Finn did a coup de grace, Joe kicked out. Joe did the muscle buster, Finn kicked out. So both guys kicked out of their finishers. Of course, both guys fight submission, especially Joe going for the Kina clutch numerous times during the match, including when he was up against the cage outside the ropes during that one moment I told you about. But both guys were just nailing each other. There was some nasty spots, including a sling blade from the top rope by Balor. In another sling blade later on. Big moves. He was even trying to go for the bloody Sunday DDT. He got the 16. Whatever they call it. But Joe counter into the Lakita clutch. But then both guys were just brawling. Going for some... Oh, they call it 1917. And then Balor like a mini coup de grace. Like a mini knee stump to Joe. Got him on the ground a little bit. And people wanted Finn to climb. So Finn started climbing. And Joe started chasing after him. They took Joe down. And I thought, we're going to see the coup de grace from the top of the cage. But Finn was trying to climb out of the cage instead. But Joe caught him. Joe caught up to Finn at the top of the cage. Nailed Finn's skull against the cage. Nailed it. Against it. That was crazy. That nasty spot right there. Nailing Finn's skull against the cage. But then the nastiest spot of the night. One of the nastiest spots of many that we've seen. Joe caught Finn at that skull buster against the cage. Caught him with the muscle buster off the top rope. Nasty muscle buster. Hope he didn't break Finn's neck like he did the Tyson Kidd. It's been almost over a year since Tyson Kidd got injured from a muscle buster from Samoa Joe. Hopefully Finn didn't get too hurt on that. He didn't get injured like a Tyson Kidd did. But it was still a nasty muscle buster nonetheless. 1, 2, 3 victory. Joe retains the NXT Championship, and it was Finn's first loss as the Demon. I feel like the women's match I'll give 3.7. 3.7 I'll give that women's match. 3.8 for the NXT Championship match. It was hard hitting. It was physical. I think I gave like the previous match like a 4.0 before. But it was still a physical matchup for both these guys, especially that nasty spot at the end. And Joe standing tall as the champion. And we knew going in, it was called The End. The Takeover. It's supposed to be called Revenge, but it was called The End. Leading speculation about the future of NXT, especially with the brand split coming. And also adding fuel was the fact that NXT Takeover Brooklyn tickets were listed on Ticketmaster. They weren't on sale yet, but it was listed, but it was taken down by Ticketmaster. But it's back up. It is going on sale. Takeover Brooklyn is happening. Tickets will be going on sale this Saturday for Takeover. So there you go. And I thought we were going to see Bobby Roode appear at the main event at the end, but we didn't see him. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Roode will probably debut soon, but not tonight. We have some tremendous debuts. 2 debuts from Andrade, Cien, Almas, great potential, and so was the Goon Tag Team with no name yet. So there you go. Fun takeover. Very physical takeover. Especially with the brand split. A lot of things happening, especially matches. It could be the last matches for American Alpha. And especially for Finn Balor. That's the big thing. Going in, we were like, if Joe or Balor win or lose, one of them loses, it's going to signal one's move to the main roster. Especially Finn. And that's why we also thought it was the end. Not just the end of NXT, which it wasn't. It was the end of Finn Balor NXT. They were emphasizing on it. The fans were. And that's exactly what probably happened tonight. Speculation is abound about Balor coming in. Now with the club at full strength. With AJ and Gallows Anderson standing tall. Interfering with New Day and John Cena. Balor could be just inches away. We could see Finn as soon as this Monday. Or even at Money in the Bank. But we shall see if Finn debuts or not. But the fuel has been added to that fire. Especially from the losing to Samoa Joe tonight. That's it for my review. Thank you so much for watching it. Once again, my full-on waiting for the pay-per-view event 7.0. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later. Yeah. Too sweet.